Hi Radhika, hi Vikas. Firstly, a warm welcome to OTTplay for a conversation.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Thank you, Nirali. Thank you, OTTplay.
Yeah, but the fact that Kaala Paani has opened to a massive response, I want to know the kind of feedback that has been coming to you guys from your friends, family, and fans, especially the audience.
Loving it. Everyone's loving it. It's been great. We're very, very happy, very overwhelming. Uh, my family, they watched it, they loved it. And it's very funny. I was really waiting for them to, watch the full show and call me. And they did. They called me and they said, अमय से बात करो. अमय ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है. अमय से बात कराओ. And I'm like, what? I know. But so, I mean, everybody is, giving us like a lot of love for this. Uh, Constantly, I've been getting messages. I mean, it's out there. The reviews have been very good. So yeah, it's exciting. It's very, very exciting.
Of course.
Yeah,
And what
exciting and
about you?
overwhelming. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, we obviously you've worked hard. You're working on something special, but you really can't gauge what kind of a response you'll get. Even our writer Biswapati Sarkar is overwhelmed. We expected a good
Yeah.
response. This is out of the world. And from fans to family to friends, everyone, all alike. And it's all honest when you meet your co-actors, as in who are not a part of this, who so badly would have loved to be a part of this, and are very honest with their compliments, with their comments. Overall, fantastic. Yeah, I don't think we could have expected a better response.
Absolutely. But it's also not very often that we see a show or a film being shot on Andaman and Nicobar Islands. But Kaala Paani was an exception, and you guys had the opportunity to be there, shoot the entire series. Tell me, how would you summarize the experience of just being there, shooting in the forest and surrounded by sea?
No, so of course it's correct. Nothing has been shot for so long over there. You've had music videos, you've had a couple of shows. What I came to know from the locals that max there's been a unit for about a week. We were there for more than 40 days. Uh, and just being among the beauty that is Andaman, nature, everything, the clearest water, the whitest sand, the clearest blue sky, and the wildlife, and general peace, quiet, everything. And then being on set working on something so special. And especially for people like myself, having to, shoot in the jungle, on the beach, in the water. I did it all. It was great fun. And again, lovely people. The energy was very good, especially co-actors. I think we bonded really well. And yes, Andaman, when you have an off day, can be a bit of a, how much do you roam around? We did a bit of scuba diving. We did go around a little, but then after a point, it's co-actors who were very good friends. We hit it off really well, and we spent some very, very good quality time on set, off set.
Yeah. And what about you,
Yeah.
Radhika?
No, he's absolutely right because we did become like a family in the Andaman, and it's such a beautiful place. It's so pristine and it's it's pure, like it's really untouched. And when we were there, we had a few off days. We would just go on hikes. The locals were so sweet. They're so nice. Uh, when you go there, you just want to stay. Like you want to be there. It's so calming and so peaceful, and you do realize how close to nature you are when you're there. So that is something that I genuinely feel everybody should experience at least once. And yeah, we had a great time, and I'm very, very grateful to our writers and makers that they wrote this show and they decided that they will go and shoot in the Andamans so that we got an opportunity to go there and witness all of this.
Of course, but also while I was watching the series, the one thing I noticed about all the characters is that they were well written. They had depth. They had several layers to it. And talking about your respective characters as well, Ritu Gagra and Santosh, tell me, how did you guys as artists personally approach your roles, and what kind of preparation went into essaying the part so perfectly that people are writing so good about the show and your characters, especially after its release.
One thing that I really want to say is that uh, I'm so happy and so glad that I'm part of this show, which has such strong female characters in it. You know, not just my character. You look at from little Kaddu to Sarika, who plays his wife, Gargi, Mona's character, Jyotsna, Purnima, every single uh, female character that has been
Amma,
written. Amma, you know,
Yeah,
they are
of
young
course.
so
Amma, everybody.
layered, so layered, and they're all strong women. And
Yeah.
this is coming from a male writer, which is which is commendable, which is very, very exciting news, I feel. And and I feel that, you know, it just goes on to show that you that he has been raised by some really strong women, and he has been surrounded by some really strong women. That's why this kind of insight into writing such characters. And so, you know, even when I was reading the script, I was very happy to see this kind of writing where women are not just uh, reactive, they are proactive, and they are doing things. And to you know, in your very first outing, to be able to perform a part like this, to be given a part like this, is a blessing. And I'm very, very grateful to Biswapati, you know, for having written these characters. And I think this is great news. I think this show, you know, is if somebody can take away this from this show, it's phenomenal. I'm very, very excited. And yeah, so to be playing this character, it was all there
Yeah.
on paper. Whatever I needed, whatever I, you know, wanted to rely on, whatever insight I wanted, it was all written on paper.
And that kind of made your job easier as an actor, I believe.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And what about you, Vikas?
Yeah,
How
like
did
she
you
said,
approach? Yeah.
I always believe writing is where it begins, and it is the most important thing when it comes to creating a story. So it was all there, and it's very inspirational. वो इतना ज़्यादा लिखा हुआ है, इतना अच्छा लिखा हुआ है that one, you don't need to really, you don't have too many questions, and two, it just inspires you to do as much as well as an actor. Uh, the Bihari lingo, I am from Bihar, so and I'm also a dialogue coach, so I knew exactly for a character like Santosh कितना इसमें डालना है. And surprisingly I got a few compliments for this, so I said कि यार मैं तो हूँ ही dialogue coach and मैं हूँ वहाँ का, तो ये तो, but they said no, even if a Bihari actor had done it, people go
Mhm.
overboard. People,
Yeah.
they don't keep the character in mind. So yeah, that one. And I know very few people who are as Siddha as Santosh. So there was one in my family. Unfortunately, I lost him. A cousin of mine. I lost him to the pandemic. We
I'm so
lost
sorry.
him, and my closest relative. But this was my opportunity to kind of base my character a little on him because he's the nicest man I've known. Bihari, close to me, and also a chance to kind of dedicate it to him.
But also because I want to specifically talk about one particular scene from the series, which is where you are in a forest, you are walking, and you just fall in a pit in the ground, and you are surrounded by the creepies, the crawlies, the insects, and the snakes. Tell me what went into the making of the scene, and what was your kind of mental space at that moment?
So, it's passion that drives us to, choose a profession like this. As an actor, you're hungry for moments, for scenes like this. So I was all looking forward to, of course, it's a bit of a scare, ki 2 days, it's just me. Scare as an actor, ki will I be able
Yeah.
to pull it off, you know? But yeah, I mean, I just jumped into it metaphorically
Jumped.
with
It's
all that
okay.
I had and gave it my all. I thoroughly enjoyed those 2 days, and I gave it everything in terms of being physically there and emotionally there. In fact, the first failed attempt that I make, I actually kind of tore there's something called labrum in the shoulder, and it's still not been corrected.
Oh,
It stays for life like that. I have to manage it. I've been told by my doctor. He said there's surgery, but not sure that the surgery will fully correct it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was there. We had great fun those 2 days. I was ready to. I mean, पूरा body chill गया था यार. Just crawling over there because there were stones, there were sticks, and just
Yes.
with all that, the emotions, being away from family, and I have to try and get to them. I've given a promise to my wife who's no more, and I have to reach my kids. Yeah, it was difficult, but that's what we kind of live for. You give it
Yeah.
all, and touch wood, something nice happens. Everything falls in place. You have, good writing, good directors to take care of you. You're ready to do whatever that needs to be done, and touch wood, it all falls in place. And then audience like yourself enjoy it, and
Yeah.
that's it.
And Radhika, which was the most kind of mentally challenging as well as kind of physically draining a shot or a sequence for you in Kaala Paani?
Physically draining, definitely, I can tell you. I had to shoot a lot in the EPP kits.
Yeah.
So a lot of my sequence. So we started off with just the mask in the beginning, all right? So we got used to it because even that, when you wear the mask, a lot of fog is formed, and you have like all those dialogues that you're saying. You do go out of breath when you have the mask on constantly. But we got used to it. We were like, no, 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 this is okay. Now we have a hang of it. We'll do this. And then comes the kit. And when you get into that kit, I mean, you'll only know once you wear the whole thing. It is really difficult. It's like a sauna in there. It's very, very hot. And then to be able to, perform all the scenes that you have to perform, that was definitely very challenging. Uh, but I guess that also helped because that also gave you sort of an insight into what doctors and researchers who are doing this every day go through, and it all just becomes very real for you. So yeah, so challenging bit was that, definitely that, but again, I think we rolled with it, and everybody was very cooperative on the set, and constantly the costume people, everybody was helping us, do our best. So yeah, I think that was fun.
But also, while shooting for as intense as it gets with each episode for a series like
Yeah.
Kaala Paani, uh, it sheds light on the epidemic as well, where we talk about LHF. Did this storyline kind of bring back the horrors of the COVID pandemic that all of us went through like 3 years back?
Everything that happens in the show, I mean, it's very emotional, and it gets to you. You cannot watch this show and distance yourself from it and watch it. Everybody has experienced the horrors of COVID, and we've all very closely uh, you know had a loss, or known somebody who's had a loss. So even while shooting, we were aware of what we were shooting and what all the kind of stories that we were telling. So we were never detached from that. We were always aware of what we were making. And yeah, I think that in a way just uh, I mean, everything was with us when we were making the series, everything, everybody's personal experience, I guess. Nobody has to talk about it out loud. Nobody has to, but everybody has it in them, everything that they have gone through, and then they bring it on screen somehow. So I think that happened.
Because were you kind of mentally impacted by the kind of storyline, because it was kind of realistic to what we all of us suffered 3 years back?
I try not to get affected as a person by the character or by my performance or what he is going through. I try and keep that separate. Yeah, but for that moment, obviously it helps. It's vice versa. You seek from your personal life, and then maybe for some time you stay affected as a person. No, I mean, again, like Radhika said, we were all very aware of, we'd all gone through. And even while traveling to the show, I mean, we were on Andaman, that was fine, but on the flight, I was wearing a mask when I went
Mm.
there. So we were still not totally out of it. Uh, my only hope is that we've based the show in 2027. So I hope there's nothing coming. I hope it's all behind us for good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. All in the past. But on a
Yes.
final note, when do we expect the second season of Kanabar?
अभी तो first ही आया है. As actors, uh, I mean, we would love for something like this to kind of move ahead, but it's just fingers crossed. We have no idea right now.
Inshallah,
Fingers
soon,
crossed.
soon,
Yeah.
soon.
Mm.
Super soon. But I hope the second season does come out and we get a chance to interact and talk more about it when it does in the future. For now,
Yeah.
fingers crossed, like you said.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Radhika
so
and
much,
Thank
Vikas,
Nirali.
for
you.
interacting.
Thank you,
Thanks a lot.
Nirali.